Eric, in this world, we only have one life, right? You have to make a difference in people's. I want to say that even though I'm a selfish narcissist, I like to think I make a difference in people's lives. I've made a huge difference in Bruce Perky and Eric Holmes' life. All you guys got to do is nod, right, Bruce? Are you gonna get a
Yes,
nod?
yes.
I mean, yeah, okay. Very good. Well, you made a difference in my life too. But look, here's the thing. There is with One Life, it's a movie called One Life. It's bigger than me, Eric Holmes, or Bruce Perky. This is a true story. This guy named Nicholas, quote, Nicky Winton. Nicky Winton was back in before the start of World War II. He was a young London broker. He's played in the movie by Johnny Flynn, and he was hearing what was going on in Czechoslovakia, predominantly Jewish children. He wanted to rescue a lot of children from Czechoslovakia before the Nazi occupation. He's just, again, a young London broker and he wanted to make a difference. So he travels to Czechoslovakia and he gets involved with volunteer work. And then he starts dreaming big, meaning he wants to get these refugees out of Czechoslovakia because a lot of them are, who knows, they are definitely in danger. So One Life, a big part of it deals with the past, with Nicholas Winton trying to get these children along with his fellow colleagues out of Czechoslovakia. That's one part. And the other part flashes back to years later when an elderly Nicholas Winton, played by Anthony Hopkins, looks back on his life. His wife, Nikki's wife, is played by Lena Olin. We're going to mention Lena Olin later on in our Spaceman review, but here she plays the wife of Nikki, played by Anthony Hopkins. And Nikki, at this moment, he feels that no matter how many refugees he rescued before World War II in Czechoslovakia, he feels that very haunted for the people he did not rescue. One Life is directed by James, I believe, Hawes, and it co-stars, again, aforementioned Johnny Flynn. Romola Garai, she plays one of the workers who helps Nicholas Winton in his mission, and Helena Bonham Carter plays Nicholas Winton's wife. That is the premise of One Life. Eric, what did you think of this movie? Did it work for you?
I loved half of this movie. So whenever it was with young Nicky Winton, played by Johnny Flynn, yeah, he goes to basically try to figure out how to get all the Jewish children and families out before the Nazis take over. Time's really pressing, and they're running across a bunch of obstacles, and it's really harrowing to watch and really great to watch. And then start to hit a certain peak, and then they do a flashback or a flash forward to Nicky Winton, older, played by Anthony Hopkins. And Anthony Hopkins is, oh, I'm just going to read the paper, have my coffee, going on for 5 minutes. I'm like, why are we watching this? Go back to the story, and then they do 5 minutes with Anthony Hopkins, and then they get back to the story with Johnny Flynn. You know, he's running across this problem, that problem. Helena Bonham Carter is like going in trying to assert herself, like, no, we got to do this now. There's not going to be a tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to, oh, you got to do this. It's just a bunch of chaos and these people trying to come together to get some sort of semblance out of the chaos and just organize a thing to get people to safety. Oh, wait. It's been 15 minutes. We got to cut back to Anthony Hopkins. What's Anthony Hopkins doing? Oh, he's smelling the roses and trying his slippers on. And like, God, why do we keep cutting to this?
Holding that
Now,
briefcase. He's holding that briefcase, that secret briefcase
I
as well.
sure I
I mean,
didn't care.
that's one of the other activities he's doing. There's wondering what's in
Okay.
the briefcase.
Pretty much anytime they cut to Anthony Hopkins' character, I was checked out. I was just waiting for it to get back to the story because we want to see the story of what Nicholas Winton did because it's pretty remarkable what he did.
Yeah.
Every time they cut to him in the what he's doing now, and like I guess they had a little bit in that with Land of Bad. You know, when they would cut to the harrowing thing and then cut to like just the boring life stuff to kind
Sure.
of counterpoint it. Like it worked with Land of Bad. Here it was just, but also when they did it with Land of Bad, it was like real quick, boring parts to make the point and then they get back to it. With this, it's like we're just going to sit on the boring part forever. Now, without giving away the end, I will say that Anthony Hopkins' part did finally pay off in the end, and it paid off really well, I think. But man, cut those early scenes, and this thing would have been great.
One Life is 109 minutes. I did like the Johnny Flynn moments a little bit better, but the Anthony Hopkins moments, him walking around or going to his car, like Eric was saying, it worked for me. I like that slow, methodical stuff because it worked for me. It served as a really good counterbalance. Ultimately, when you get to the ending, it's pretty much an emotional. I teared up towards the end of One Life, and it was quite, yeah. I actually really love this movie. I was surprised at how much I don't want to say enjoyed One Life, but First of all, it's a great educational film. You get to learn about this person who really made a huge difference in Czechoslovakia with these children. And the ending is just wow. So, One Life in theaters March 15th. For me, wait, actually, Eric, you go first. Give me your rating on One Life.
I'll probably go 3 stars on this because the good parts are really good. The ending's really good. It's just those early Anthony Hopkins scenes, like you clip those, or even like just don't do the back and forth thing. Do like the early story and then cut to however many years later with him, going up to where they go to the end. Maybe that could work, but yeah, just cutting to Anthony Hopkins and during like really pivotal scenes in the past where it's like, oh crap, what's going to happen? It's kind of like it's very frustrating to watch. And my guess is that if it was anyone other than Anthony Hopkins, they would just cut those scenes.
Hmm.
It feels like they kept them in there because we got Anthony Hopkins. We're gonna leave everything in the movie with him in it, whether it works or not. And also, and I've mentioned this in the last couple of Anthony Hopkins movies we talked about, he's a great actor. Let's give him some roles, like some interesting roles. He's been playing the same confused old guy for the last 3 movies that I saw him in, and I'm kind of he can do more than that. So maybe let him, or who knows? Maybe he doesn't want to. I don't know, but
Hmm.
yeah, this has like a fantastic movie in it. It's just hampered by a bunch of strange editing choices, I guess.
I'm on the flip side. I think it is a fantastic movie. I was fine with Anthony Hopkins' scenes, loved him in the movie. I thought all of those scenes were actually necessary to counterbalance, for, like I said, the aforementioned counterbalance. Eric's rating is 3 stars. I'm giving One Life 4.5 stars. We'd love to hear what you guys think of One Life, which is specifically in theaters March 15th.